Well, g'day there, traders and friends right around the world. I hope you're having a very nice Wednesday evening. Right now, what I'd like to do for you is just spend a little time recapping a couple of trades which we've spoken about over the weekend in that pro analysis workshop class. I haven't done this in quite some time. It's my understanding in terms of trade management, or at least walking through open and active trades, it has been approximately 3 weeks since the last time I worked, or at least moved into the depths of trade management. Right now, the market is starting to turn. We've seen what we call some form of a correctional move back into the declining exponential moving averages, set up a really nice intraday reversal on the back of the open FOMC announcement last Thursday. And since then, the market has continued, at least to temporarily, in terms of swing movement, sell off. This is set up really nicely with a lot of our individual top 12 trade list. I mean, we've been sort of stalking these individual trades for quite some time. And as it stands right now, as it stands as at the Wednesday afternoon, there are quite a few individual trades which have triggered. And we're positioned really nicely in those individual trades. We are completely 100% aligned with market movement and market expectations. And it's really a nice position where we find ourselves at this Wednesday afternoon. So what I'll do over maybe the next 5 minutes or so is just recap maybe two or three of our individual trade positions and just walk you through what to expect and where would be potentially, if you are in these trades, a reasonable place to set stops. The first stock which I would like to speak about on our list is Boeing Airlines. Now, once again, Boeing Airlines has been one of those correctional type of rollover trades which we've been following very quickly. We saw the capitulation in mid to late August. We've seen the sort of slow grind higher, which has been somewhat ugly. It has been exceptionally hard to at least place yourself bullish or position yourself bullish in terms of buying into extreme weakness during the sell-off. But right now, we've waited for the turn to present itself. It's done that, and we had our bearish entry at 133.24. As it stands right now, we are trading at 131.67. So we are down, or we are up in terms of price. Intrinsic value in the money, about a $1.40, or $1.60 right now. So that makes us all very happy. And the good news is that we've got lower targets, 126, 118 ultimately. I'm not sure how low this stock will fall, but in terms of how overbought it is and the types of bearish signals which we are seeing, you can see the Stokes, the RSI, and the MACD all turning down. You can see that we are once again finding resistance at the 100 and the 200, price below all three of the exponential moving averages. It ticks so many boxes in terms of a really stellar type of trade setup, and it really makes me happy in terms of trade execution to see this trade playing out as it is. Down $2.32 today. This is, in my opinion, the beginning of what could be a multi-week type of movement lower. So in terms of positioning your stop on the Boeing Airlines trade, I've had a lot of questions in terms of Boeing Airlines and also Walgreens, which I'm happy to answer, and I will do it in this video. In terms of a stop, you've got two decisions to make, or two choices. You can have a tight stop at 135.19. That will really, in many terms, have less than a $2 type of risk on the trade. So let me just draw this in red because it makes sense. $2 of risk on the trade. And really our ultimate reward is all the way down here at $118. If my calculations are correct, that's about a $15 reward. So in terms of risk and reward, we've got $7 of reward for $1 of risk, right? So a 7-to-1 risk and reward ratio. That ticks all of the boxes, an incredible type of trade setup. If in fact you want to exit some of your positions at 126, well, that's still in many terms a 3-to-1. So it's about, or 3.5-to-1, I should say, reward to risk ratio. So they are ticking the boxes. It is above a 2-to-1. Just a really nice trade setup. If you want to sort of be a little bit more relaxed in the trade setup, it makes sense to keep it up at 137.95. This will also mitigate market noise, which I've tried to explain to people, because we can always see these little slight movements against the initial price action before we see the big swing take place. So either 137 or the area which I've just had my stop at prior are very smart locations. Personally, I'll be keeping mine at 137.95, and if we see the continuation lower, I'll be dragging it down to about 135.86 or about 136 on the nose as a really nice stop. Let's move into Walgreens, Boots, and Alliance, because this trade is also profitable. We've had two entries on this stock, one at 88.88. This is bearish, of course, similar type of correctional move to the upside. Waited for the red box reversal, and we've seen that. Secondary entry was 87.72. Right now we're trading at 87.44. this really looks as though we are setting up a bearish continuation. It really looks like some form of a holding continuation type of candlestick pattern setting up. Low volume, it's ticking all of the boxes of some form of, as I just said, a stair-step continuation or some form of a holding continuation lower. I really like this trade. Very similar. We are below the 10, the 20, and the 50 exponential moving average. We've seen some little gaps. We've also seen rejection right at horizontal resistance. Again, a really lovely trade. We have been overbought. We're starting to see the crosses. And I'm just very, very happy about this individual trade setup. The stop on this trade is a lot easier. Very much so easier. 91.10 was the original stop. Because of today's candle, we saw the gap up, but we have very much so a shaved top type of candlestick up here. I'm going to position my stop at 89.64, and you also have the opportunity to re-enter into positions if it breaks about 85.50. So that's a little bit of a bonus right there. 85.50, if you break this little support area around here, we've got 82.72 and also 77.03. Once that does occur, I'll be bringing my stop, mitigating risk, really having no risk whatsoever, and just locking in profit and having a risk-free trade on Walgreens, Boots, and Alliance. They are two trades which have triggered this week, or so far. This week, another stock which has triggered is Google. Google's entry was 658.20. It's trading at 653.29. It hasn't seen the biggest move, but it is trying to at least continue its struggle sideways. We are once again somewhat overbought. We're trying to get the cross down. We've got a lot of indications, at least informing us that this really looks as though it is peaking. We've got exhaustion gaps. We've got island reversal gaps. We've got breakaway gaps. We've got some form of a triple top setting up. We've got two lower highs right here. It really looks as though we're coming back up and retesting the back test, or at least the neckline of some form of a funky, double or triple top, whatever you want to call it. It's got so many bearish connotations all around it, or which are just sort of telling me, at least, do not trade bullish on Google. That's why we have the bearish trade set up. But it hasn't really moved all that much. We are up about $5. Nothing really to write home about, but we've got some really nice lower targets on Google. Some even as far as about $50 away from our original entry. So I'm paying very, very close attention to Google. Outside of that, we had the Caterpillar trade setup, which once again, I did not take. I wish I did in retrospect, but I really explained it thoroughly. And I said, look, if it does break 71.60, I'm not going to be concerned because I will have other entries open. And that really helps me because I had the Boeing Airlines trade open and also the Walgreens, Boots, and Alliance. Now, what gets exciting is that we have an absolutely incredible trade setup on Apple. Absolutely incredible trade setup on Apple, which I'm very, very much excited about. On top of that, we've got the CVX coil continuing. See this Bollinger Band type of squeeze setting up. It's looking very, very nice. Look at the one on IBM as well. It's starting to constrict price. So as long as IBM continues to move sideways and it doesn't actually break down to these 140 areas, this is going to be a really, really nice trade setup on IBM. Netflix is still trying to struggle and move sideways, and Tesla looks as though it's really eking out a resistance level, looking as though it's about to roll over. So in terms of trade setups, it has been a great week so far. A few people are a little concerned about Walgreens, but that's okay. Really try and pull yourself away from emotional trading, or try and at least have a trading plan and remove yourself emotionally from all trades. It's the best way to trade the market. And if you are finding yourself emotionally attached to a trade, 9 times out of 10, the reason why is because you've over-capitalized on that one position. So you're actually trading bigger positions than what you should be. And because of that, you're overthinking the trade setup, and you're really trying to, or at least praying that the trade itself is going to move in your direction to make the trade worthwhile. Pardon me, I still have this cough. I mean, it's just continuously, I just cannot shake it. It's really, really frustrating. But look, Walgreens, Boots, and Alliance, again, looks like it's got a holding pattern looking really, really great. And the markets themselves, they haven't seen the biggest move to the downside yet, but it definitely has been a very weak week to begin. I mean, the Dow Jones is only down 104 points. The candlestick after last week's is a shooting star. We're expecting continued volatility, net sideways, or at least some form of an advancement over the coming 2 months or so, which is really going to set up, in my opinion, a really great shorting opportunity. But again, the S&P is only down 19 handles, and the NASDAQ, probably the most bearish of the 3 markets this week, down close to 75 handles on the weekly chart. So pay attention to that. Also, the transports has taken a whack. It is somewhat very weak. It is leading these other equity markets as I speak. And as I go through this recording, you can see right here down 174 points on the weekly. So you can see the candlestick. It's really very much suggesting a continuation back down to about 7,702. But ultimately, we are waiting for this market to rally back up to make up some form of a relative high, probably dating back to July, August, which will probably be the ultimate rally. where the other three equity markets are going to catch back up to their very much so macro resistance areas before that first establishment of the lower high is set up. And in terms, I will just finish on this, in terms of the US dollar, as at Wednesday afternoon, it has pushed back up. We spoke about this over the weekend. This is what we call a tweezer bottom. Very much suggests a reversal. However, it wasn't really in the nicest location. We've come back down into support multiple times. You see this area 93.50 on my chart. We've got 3 touches, 4 touches, and we were expecting it to come back down a little bit lower. But over the weekend, once again, I noted that this is a really, really important reversal type of candle. Once again, write it down if you are unfamiliar with it. It's what we call a tweezer bottom. And on the back of that, or a continuation off from that reversal, we've seen the bullish move higher. Right now, we're trading at 96.25. But it's been very hard for the US dollar to overcome about $97 on the index itself. We're getting very close to it. We are within 0.75 of that 97 reading. So we will be setting up potentially bidirectional trades on the US dollar, as we have done in the past over here and over here, just to catch the breakout range when it happens. Outside of that, friends, I hope you enjoyed this Wednesday afternoon market analysis. Be patient in trade setups. And I'll be back with you later in the week and also this weekend for that Pro Analysis Workshop class. The recording is upline if you do want to have a look at it. All the best, friends and traders right around the world. Have a fantastic evening. I'll be signing off on behalf of Pivot Point Trading. All the best. Goodbye.